Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and those beyond the binary. Welcome. This is The Between. My name is Alex Rubitsky, and I will be the keeper of this gothic tale. My hunters, as always, may introduce themselves.
Howdy. Good to see y'all again. My name is Wes Franks. My pronouns are he, they, and for this evening's tale, I am playing, maybe for the final time, Ross Fontenot, the American.
Hey guys, I'm Meg. Pronouns are she, her, and tonight I'll be playing Carla Host, the Undeniable.
Hi guys, I'm Jordan Freeze. My pronouns are he, him, and tonight I'm going to be playing Big B, the orphan.
Hey guys, my name is Shelby. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be playing House Rivia, the Legacy.
And I'll just circle back to myself, and my pronouns are he, him, but as the GM, my pronouns are everyone. So... But anyway, so we're gonna get started today. It's been a hot minute since we've played, and this is kind of down to the wire. We're in the last few episodes of The Between. You might see a little bit of a hiatus coming up, as very soon we'll have to move to pre-recording the last couple episodes due to scheduling conflicts, but those will be premiered live at the usual time and place. So just follow our socials at CritFailsafe on Twitter, in our Discord. That's where all the information will be posted. Before we get started tonight, I wanted to, as always, give a couple of pre-show, thanks and announcements. Throw special thanks to our friends over at Session Zero Clothing and Accessories for their continued fantastic support of the show, just being great guys all around. Ryan's super nice. Please show them your affection. If you haven't yet, guys, please go to their store and use the promo code FAILSAFE for 10% off your first order. You gotta do it, man. They got good shirts. And then, as always, we have donation pages. If you'd like to support the creators you're currently watching on screen, we have a Stream Elements tip jar, which all the funds gained during a stream through that link goes to everyone you see right now. We distribute those profits evenly as a cast. And then if you donate to our coffee, those profits go back to the channel. And that's how you continue to support us, and that's how we do shows, and that's how I do crazy things like the project I'm doing with Wes that got announced a couple days ago. So yeah, stay tuned for more on that. But I think without further ado, I think we've been 2 weeks off from the show, and it is high time we get right back into it. What do y'all think?
Oh yeah,
Hell
it's time.
yeah.
Let's
do this. I'm
do it.
so ready.
Let's see what happens on this evening's chapter of The Between, which, to clarify, because I think I misnamed last episode as chapter 15, this is chapter 15. So, oh my goodness, let's see where we go. We will see you all in just a moment. Stay tuned. So, previously on The Between, it has been some time. Our hunters dealt with Sally No-Face, or, as it was revealed, Dr. Alexander Van Cleef, a surgeon slash botanist who had developed unethical procedures of cosmetic surgery, was removed from a royal academy after a scandal. That scandal was none other than being responsible for the cosmetic surgery of the creature of Cremorne Gardens, which was an extreme plot twist I did not see coming. So that was good. That was really exciting, and that threw me for an absolute curveball. In addition, we also unlocked the beast for Pyrrha, and Ross is down to his very last mask of the future. So needless to say, we have a lot of options for seeing where this is going to go tonight. And then we introduced another threat last session. I think just before we got the mastermind threat, threshold met. So let's just recap, because it's been a while. The current threats on the board, and then we'll get into the dawn phase for rewards for Sally No Face. So the two remaining main threats are the Drowned Guardian of the Docks, which you have answered one question for already. You decided that the entity is a guardian spirit. So that unlocked two more questions. How can it be appeased, and how can lasting order be maintained? So we have some clues. The only one that has not been spent yet is Father Gallagher suddenly becoming very suspicious of the sea. So there's a lot more clues to be gathered there. And then we just recently revealed the Nutcracker, which I actually don't see anything written down for it. So I'll just recap the Nutcracker's whole deal, because it's been a minute. The Nutcracker is a series of killings that are going on with the surrounding a number of ice sculptures. That the sculptures contain the bodies of grisly murdered victims. This threat was brought to your attention by a retired hunter of Hargrave House, the Rabbi Rebecca Salomon, who asked for your assistance in this matter. 3 dancers from the Royal Ballet have all been murdered and encased in ice sculptures throughout the city. As a reminder, the victims were Basil Lagarde, who was 13, posed skating at Regent's Lake Park; Massimo Asani, 19, found praying at Rebecca's own synagogue; and Hermes the Soaring Lambros, 29, he was crucified outside St. Paul's Church. Each body had been gelded. And so Rabbi Solomon is a patron of the ballet and does not, it's getting threatened to be canceled. So she wants this sculptor caught. She has determined that the killer works at the theater, but she is forbidden to speak with the staff due to recreational trespasses she's had before. And the question that you guys have for the Nutcracker is, where does the sculptor carve their works? That has a complexity of 4. The next one has, what winter tradition does the sculptor still enjoy? That has a complexity of 6. And the third question is, how does the Royal Ballet train its featured dancers? All 3 of these allow you to resolve the threat. And the last one has a complexity of 8. Any questions there? No? All good?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, so you haven't begun looking into that one yet, so you have no clues for that yet. That mystery has the Mask of Perfection as an option on it, so that's fun. And I believe that is that one. And then, just recently unleashed, we will talk about the beast threat once the day phase comes up. But first, let's do the dawn phase. So let's collect the rewards for Sally No Face, because you guys resolved that last time. There are 6 available rewards for Sally No Face. And I'll go down the list here. Sally No Face's wooden mask is a reward. Sally No Face's scalpel is a reward. A mannequin is a reward. A victim's face is a reward. And then 2 memento options. Where are people leaning?
Is it bad I want the mannequin?
No.
I kind of want the mannequin.
Take the mannequin.
There's a lot you can do with that mannequin.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do with the mannequin. Ross, give me something.
Okay, give me something that is attached to Sally No Face. All right. God. Okay.
Sally's face. Sorry.
It's Sally's actual face. No, I'm not gonna pull I'm not gonna pull a Scott Snyder Joker Batman thing with you. If y'all remember, that was a whole thing. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see. It happened in a garden. It happened in a greenhouse, and Carla Carla was presented essentially with a bouquet of some of the most perfect calla lilies.
Ooh.
That's very cool.
Perfect.
Funeral
Guess I'll
flowers.
also try to go for a memento. Shelby, give me a memento. What are you thinking?
Bigby, your memento is a series of writings from the doctor that you convinced to turn himself in.
That's neat. Anything else?
I will take Sally No Face's wooden mask.
Okay.
Sorry, Jigsaw
Cool.
is feeling it right now.
Oh, that's okay.
Just fed and got the zoomies.
We are all happy to see Jigsaw. No one's mad about it.
I'm a collector of masks. Damn.
Both in the Janus masks and in your inventory. Congratulations. Can Wes put this on to avoid dying? Can
No.
Wes put on Sally's mask?
Unallowed.
Mask of Sally.
Did everyone pick their chosen reward?
I believe so.
All right. I love it. Alrighty. Moving on. Let's answer our Dawn question. So, Ross, did you guys answer a question last session? I believe you did.
We did indeed.
Did you resolve a threat? You did. Did you experience an echo in the night?
We did.
We
When I
did.
had, yep.
Yep. And did you stick out London society for all the wrong reasons?
I in fact did.
Yes, you did. 4 XP to you, sir.
Thank you.
Carla
Can't answer Dawn questions.
can't answer Dawn questions. Because,
I'm done.
oh yeah, you're fully upgraded. That's right.
I'm done.
You're done. You got your new custom move, which we'll get into in a little bit.
I do.
Big B, did you answer a question? Yes. Did you resolve a
Yes.
threat? Yes. Did you experience an echo in the night? I believe you set one up. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
did set one up for myself.
That does indeed work. Were you gentle with someone or something because you know how strong you are?
With the doctor, brought him into an embrace and kept it soft because he knew that he could hurt him, like for certain.
Yeah. And did you openly walk among people during the day? Yes, you did. You may mark all 5 and take an advancement.
I want a custom move. I want all my animal senses. Give him.
Okay, well, you'll have to write that between sessions already. Alrighty. Damn, dope. Hey, Gauntlet Discord, just you wait. We're coming for you. Alright. And then... Shelby. Did you answer a question? Yes. Did you resolve a threat? Yes. Did you experience an echo in the night? Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. It's just I don't remember when it was. But
It's been
I
2
marked it
weeks.
at
It's
the
fine.
time, so.
Yeah. Did you revel in the thrill of the hunt? No. Did
Nope.
you loudly curse your family's name? I believe you
Sure
did.
as
So you
fuck did.
marked 4. Right on. Okay. Excellent. All right, y'all may pick new Dawn questions if you so desire. We need to say, okay, so the quickening has now resolved. You are still drained though. And yeah, the mother is no longer in place. So I believe that is everything. Oh boy, y'all, we're getting into it. And we don't have any lingering Janus mask prompts, so I think we're just good to jump into the day phase.
So excited. I am so excited. I've been hyped for this for weeks.
So, the day phase. I will present a new threat. This will, unless the cursed gets marked by Ross, this will be the last threat introduced before the mastermind threat. So, oh, excuse me. So,
Oh man.
Pyrrha, you have done it. After all these years, you have tracked the beast down to... I was looking at this answer here, by the way, of everything you filled out for me, because this is some messed up stuff. And I could only think of a fitting answer to the last one you left me, question number 6, which was what type of building or place is the Beast's lair? And after everything you've described to me, and then because of a single comment from, I believe it was Wes, as a result of this narration, you have tracked the beast down to a, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It is I wrote it down as a butterfly house, but like it's that specific kind of like garden kind of atrium where you keep like butterflies, but it's like an abandoned, like overgrown place full of like moths and insects and bugs.
Getting some like mama vibes. I'm into this.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And because Wes said moth demon from Magicians, and I was just like, well, I gotta roll with this now. So it is this kind of abandoned, like it's not like what we did with Selling No Face, where it's like, oh, this is like, you know, like a greenhouse garden. This is like one of those like inside like a large like building of the sciences, like an abandoned museum essentially.
Like an abandoned museum atrium.
It's yeah, exactly. But like where you would have like
Scary.
all of the kind of like the displays of like insects and bugs and butterflies. So that's what I gave you. Hope you like that.
Ooh.
But back to what I was saying. You have tracked it down to this bug sanctuary inside an abandoned museum atrium. You have watched from a distance as it disappears into a cloud of like dark moths camouflaged with you know, that kind of like I think Silence of the Lambs, like a death's head moth, just like yeah, you've seen it disappear into clouds of insects. You know the beast won't be alone, but will you be? How easy it would be to slaughter the thing now and get it over with. Cold blood is made warm by the thrill of the kill. That is what your mother always said. But maybe she was wrong. Maybe a slower hand is needed. Either way, make your move soon. This threat has 2 questions. Both can resolve the threat. The first question is, what makes the beast most vulnerable? And because you have more X's marked on your hunt sheet than O's, that means you get to lower, you get to lower the question's complexity by 2. So it originally had a complexity of 4.
Good.
The violent option has a complexity of 2. The other question, the non-violent one, is what curse binds the beast to the legacy with a complexity of 6. That will allow you to lift the curse. And that will resolve the threat as well. Well, those are options. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
That's exciting.
I think that's everything. All right. Regular play commences. Hunters! It is a beautiful winter morning in London. It is cold. The festivals are at hand. What would our hunters like to do? We got some conditions I've noticed.
Would anyone like some tea and biscuits in the infirmary?
Sure, I'll take some tea and biscuits.
All right. Oh, wait. Oh, I only have mental conditions, so somebody else should. If you're gonna get conditions removed, you might want to be the initiator of it.
No, the infirmary has nothing to do with the initiator. It is just if you have, as long as there are.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
All right, so we have
Do you want to have like a
Bigby and Carla. Ooh, that's gonna be a fun scene. We got that. Ross and Pyrrha. I know singly what Pyrrha is going to be doing today.
Yeah. I'm going to that bug atrium just to look around.
Okay, I love it. And Ross.
You're muted.
Oh no.
Unacceptable.
Ross. I know, I understand. Mea culpa. Ross is not feeling very well. Ross is feeling very drained. But Ross has a job to do, regardless. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to stop off by the opium den, do a little toot, and then I am going to... Yeah, actually, you know what? I do my best work when I am on the ground, investigating amongst people like me. I'm going to go indulge in my vice alone in the dark and seedy underbelly of London. I'm going to utilize my as cruel as the harlot's curse move.
Oh. That's going to be fun. Okay. I kind of want to start with that so I can begin setting my expectations for what the results of that might be. So you set the scene for us, Ross. Tell us about it.
Ross, you hear the normal thudding of his boot steps against the wooden planks of the floor of Hargrave House. Probably Bigby coming out of the kitchen with some tea and biscuits and about to ask Ross if he would like to join, and Ross just shoots a glance over at Bigby, and you can tell that he's sweating and he has dark circles around his eyes, and his eyes are yellow now. The irises are yellow now. And he just goes, "Not now."
Sorry, well, I'll be on then. And he'll leave you be.
And you just hear a rumbling come from Ross's chest. And he turns, and then you just hear, if anybody was not nearby, would just hear the door open and the wind whip in through, some snow probably blowing in, and it just slamming, and the frame of the door shaking the front of the house. And Ross just bundles up and moves against the wind of the cold to head to the Limehouse district, where he's going to head to the opium den.
Oh, the opium den of Jenny Johnston.
Exactly.
Are you hoping
Jenny
to see a particular friend there?
Fucking God willing, please.
Okay.
is what he's like. He's like, I need to know. I need something.
Okay, I love that. Well, as per your move, as cruel as the harlot's curse, my friend, you gotta roll. You gotta choose. You are rolling with vitality, and then we'll see what options you earn.
Perfect. Okay, rolling with vitality, which is a 1. That is a 11.
11. That's just 1, I believe. Oh, no, 10 plus. Choose 2. You're right. That is absolutely correct. Which 2 would you like to choose, sir?
So I'm going to clear a condition on a hit, and then I'm going to choose 2. I'm not going to draw any unwanted attention for once with this goddamn move.
Okay.
And I'm not looking to make a friend, but I want to stumble on a clue.
Clue and no unwanted attention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have a clue in mind?
Yes. So.
And for what threat?
Let's knock this drowned guardian of the dogs out.
Okay.
Let's start working towards that. Ross is goes to the opium den. Instead of getting a private room, he very much sits right in the middle of all the pillows and everything of like the main room, where people that can't afford a private room probably ingest their opium, partake in their opium. And he's just gonna start just inhaling. He's imbibing, he's inhaling just to calm down. And he's just gonna start mumbling Father Gallagher's name. He's just gonna start saying Father Gallagher, in hopes of trying to draw the attention of somebody that might recognize Father Gallagher's name.
Interesting.
And as he does, a sailor boots Ross very hard in the ribs and looks down at Ross, and Ross is too inebriated to do anything normally what Ross would do, except for just to grab the leg. And the sailor looks down and says, "Oi, bruv, don't say that name. Don't be mentioning that around here or around me, alright?" And Ross just looks at him, tears in his eyes, as the pupils seem to be a dull brown. Whatever this opium is, it's just taking more and more of it to keep this curse at bay. And he says, Why don't say that name?" And the sailor grabs Ross by the collar and hauls him up. And Ross is a big man, but the sailor is also a big man. And he says, "Don't say that fucking name." And he points to his eye, and he realizes that it's a glass eye. But instead of the place of a pupil and iris, there is one of those symbols that have been tattooed on sailors' bodies. And that is what I'm going to give as a clue. Glass eye with a symbol.
Oh, I'm going to throw something really fucking creepy at you. Are you ready?
Okay.
Because you just said that you're also you're not going to draw unwanted attention. Well, you definitely just drew some unwanted attention from this sailor here. It might turn into a bad situation. So how are we going to resolve this? I'll tell you how. So as he's looking at you, you see, for those of you who have seen The Grudge, like the shower scene where like the hand in the back of the woman's head, like grabbing her in the shower. A golden gloved hand reaches out from behind the man's like head and slips a sun mask directly over his face from behind, and Moon Knight style, the yellow smoking jacket, the slippers, the form of the man in the sun mask grows out of the sailor's appearance until it's just the man in the sun mask standing before you. And he kind of like adjusts his little smoking jacket,
dropping Ross, and Ross just falls in a bunch of pillows. Kind of like just like kind of backs into him a little bit and goes, "What the fuck?"
Hello, Mr. Fontenelle. Is now a bad time?
I'm gonna cut away from that scene right now, actually, and then we'll. I kind of want to jump back to this scene and see what happens, but yeah.
What the hell?
Perfect.
What the hell? Oh my god!
That sailor ain't gonna be drawn any unwanted attention.
Amazing. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I really love that. Okay, cool. Let's jump over to I think let's get this vulnerable move. I want to see this between Carla and Bigby. So meanwhile, back at Hargrave House, you two are in the infirmary because Carla is bloodied and bruised and very, very beaten up from her.
It has been weeks, and yet it hasn't faded whatsoever. And I'd say that it seems fair that probably Bigby hasn't really seen or met much of Carla before this.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't really know anybody. Honestly, it'd be cool if he was helping patch you up, like continuously, like going through like some of these books that the doctor left behind to just kind of like, I don't really know how this works. How do you stitch? What is a cross stitch again? I'll figure it out. Sorry, apologies.
I'm the one who got myself into this situation.
Right. Does Hargrave House always get themselves into these situations?
Yes, we tend to enjoy doing the things that no one else would.
Right. Well, perhaps some tea and biscuits might help you. Help yourself,
Think
please.
about anything else other than a needle in my thigh.
Sorry, I will. Should I stop for now? Is this too much?
Yeah, this.
Okay.
I'm
just. Apologies.
No, it's quite all right.
And before we continue the scene, I just want to actually ask really quickly, since this is your vice, Big B, since you've brought tea and biscuits to the infirmary while you're stitching up your friend, get a little blood on a cookie, what would you like to do? Would you like to find a clue or invite, this is interesting because like to invite someone to ask about your past is you're very new. So which one do you want to do? Clue or let her ask you question?
Oh gosh. Oh, I don't know. That's dude was born like yesterday. That's
in a few weeks.
That's
yeah.
difficult.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We'll get a clue.
Fuck it.
We'll get
All
a clue
right.
this time.
Well, then let the conversation commence for a little bit, and then you can tell me what clue you stumble onto and for what threat.
Okay. Cool.
So.
He's
Carla.
patching you up. Go ahead.
And Carla's
Sorry.
like, as you're patching her up, she's like drinking a little bit of tea, and despite her very regal appearance, her hand is shaking a little bit, and you can kind of see a long line of bruises that are just, it's almost sickly purple.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very unnatural color.
Big B will take notice. Very gently, kind of like putting like one hand on yours and another on your elbow. He examines. Did someone do this to you? Was this an accident?
Something might be a little more accurate.
Something.
You won't believe me, but I was in another world. And something very, very powerful wanted me to stay.
I feel like in regards to belief, I've seen quite a lot already, and I have the head of a dog. So when it comes to things to believe and to not believe, that's really out of the question. Other
Fair
world.
Other world.
What was that like?
You are only a few weeks old. That's right, Bigby? As far as you know?
As far as I know, I seem to have little memories here or there of other lives that I've never seen, but...
Well, while I was in that, it's very hard to describe. It was almost like I was in different times as much as I was in different places. But I don't know. It's a place I wouldn't really recommend. It's very, very easy to get lost in such things.
Right. Well, did you find anything interesting? Did you see anything of note?
I saw your creator in a much happier life. Your father, if you want to call him that.
I don't know if he would ever consider me my son, or to be a son. Yes, I'm perhaps creator, father. I don't know. But glad he's at least happy somewhere. I've always wanted to travel.
Oh, well, maybe once all this horrid business is done. I get the feeling you probably aren't going to stay here very long.
I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know where else to go. There's nowhere really for me to go. I could just wander off until I find some freak show or group or circus. And the Americans have circuses, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Oh, that could be neat.
I'm sure you'll find something.
I hope so.
I totally forgot about something super important earlier, by the way, Big B.
Yes.
Which is you don't collect rewards from threats. You instead mark your family move, where you take something from that threat to find out how it will help your other family, the people you've chosen to be around other than Hargrave House. So go ahead and mark that first box, and remove the reward you got from Sally No Face. And once we come back around, you can you can narrate not a full scene, just like you can describe how something from the Sally No Face threat can be used to help the theater troupe with their problem of being threatened by somebody, so that we can get to that just to explore. Because you speaking about theater, and I'm like, oh wait a second, your family, your reward thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Forgot about that.
It's all good.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
And I believe you're the one that picks the clue.
So he gets to stumble. So Bigby gets to stumble on the clue. What threat do you want to give a clue for?
Okay. Shelby, I want to ask you this. Are you wanting to go with violence? Okay.
The beast killed my brother and my father. Yes.
Then may I ask if I can open up the floor for Shelby to describe a clue about the beast that we find in Hargrave House? Is that all right?
Or if I can offer something a little interesting, Carla wasn't the fragrant void. There could be something a little weird on her.
Ooh, something about her that's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you, Jordan. Whenever you want to go, there's some options there.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with Shelby. Shelby, I would love to hear about a clue that we might find that has to do with the beast.
Okay.
Wes, there's one that I read on the beast sheet when I was writing it. Will you allow me to use it?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I was staring.
I just fucking worked here.
That's his name. Okay, I'm gonna
I
send
understand
a screenshot
that we
again.
both have beards, but
No. I
he's
just
got
sent a screenshot because my Zoom has been showing your name as Wes.
That's
and
hilarious.
his name is Alex this entire time.
That's amazing.
So that is my bad.
Here's the thing. Jordan does have to name the clue himself. So he does have to create the
name it.
Yeah, you stumble on a clue is you tell me what it is. It can't solve the mystery itself or the threat, but you have to describe to me what the clue is. Keep in mind the questions we are looking at is what is its weakness, I believe is what one of them is. What makes the beast most vulnerable, and the other one is what curse binds the beast to legacy. So you can't make a clue that gives a strong answer on one of those questions, but those are kind of like the domain of which you can make up whatever you want as long as it doesn't definitively answer a question.
Okay.
Do you want a minute to think on that?
I think I have an idea.
Oh, okay,
but I'd like to think that of all the shit that's in this infirmary that Big B looks through, he sifts through books, medications, deeper inside though there's a box, and the box kind of has like Rivia engraved on it, and inside that box there's things like little papers, writings. There's like an old dagger that kind of sits at the bottom, and a vial of essence from the beast, whatever that may be.
Oh, a vial of essence. Okay. From Pavel's belongings or something. That's super neat. I love that. That's cool. That's a really cool clue.
Oh, I have a fucked up idea for that.
We can't wait to hear the theory, but we'll get to there. Okay. I think we'll move away from this scene for now, and let's jump over to Pyrrha. See what's going on over there. I'm gonna put on the Christmas music again because why not?
And now Wes's name just changed properly.
There we
Okay.
go.
You still say that you okay. Cool. Damn it.
Yeah,
Zoom.
I'm doing the gothic Christmas music because why not? Okay, Pyrrha, you venture towards, and you know what? I wanted us to think of a name for this together. I want a nice long name for this abandoned like building of the sciences where they have this like butterfly atrium, which I always forget what the term for that place is, but like a nice like it's like a think like the London Museum front facade, like it's like a stone, well, like stone facade building with like pillars and like a carved name over top the steps, but it is in like a dark like edge of London, some corner surrounded by like a oh, thank you, Wes. The Lepidopterarium?
The Lepidopterarium.
Lepidopterarium.
Lepidopterarium. Thank you. Yeah. I'm thinking it's on like the outskirts of London. It is out there. It is where there's thick snow piled high and beggars moving through the street in droves. And there is this old building that you tracked it to on the very fringes of London, where there's a wrought iron fence outside, crooked, collapsed in some places, overgrown with dead winter vines that just kind of pull at its cracked and crumbling stones. The cobble's overgrown underneath, and everything just a slurry of mud and snow. What do we think for a fun like name for this building? I kind of want to source the group on this one.
Actually,
Yeah.
I've
The
got
Saren-
you.
Oh.
Go for it.
The Serendipity Lepidopterarium.
Oh.
I was thinking of something a little more fantastical.
Oh.
No?
The Unseelie Court.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's neat.
I like that.
That's really cool.
Ideas. That's cool.
Cool. What about Marion's Unseelie Lepidopterarium?
Here, I'm gonna make something even better, and I'm gonna mix all these together. It is not itself called the Unseelie. It is just that it has this long scientific, like Her Majesty's blah 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 blah, like Royal Academy blah 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 blah, like engraving, but the overgrown, cracked bits of the stone facade, all that really does remain letter-wise, coincidentally spells out the Unseelium.
Okay, I like
The
that.
Unseelium.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love that.
That's cool. I like that one.
That's really cool. I love that. So Pyrrha, what do you do?
What every good hunter does. And I start scouting. I want to get a read on the perimeter, and I want to see who's inside. I'm assuming I probably came here at a time I've tracked that the beast will not be here. Or at least
Yes,
I'm
and I
hoping
realize
in
I
my-
did make a mistake because I'm supposed to introduce this during the dusk phase, not the day phase. But we're here now. It's fine.
It's here now. It's fine.
here now. It's fine. We're doing it. So yeah, can you repeat that? Sorry.
She's going to try and get a read on the perimeter and see if there might be anyone else inside besides the beast.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah, I love this. Let's do this.
How many pawns am I playing with?
I think that this is a great excuse for an information roll. Let's do this information plus your. Let's take a look at what conditions you have. First of all, you have bloodthirsty and most beloved. Very nice. Let's have this be plus your composure. So you will have disadvantage from bloodthirsty. Unless you want to check off any of your items for an advantage.
Let me check something.
Your security mannequin that you hold cradling in front of you for comfort and vigilance.
I know what I want to use.
What do you want to use?
The picture of a family. I would like to use that to
Oh.
calm my nerves and look down at. I take this photo out of my
Very
boot,
cool.
and it's old and creased and worn. It's been folded 1,000 times. And there is a very faded picture of a man and woman with 3 children. One, an older boy, and a set of twins. And they all look happy.
I love that.
I would like to use that to calm my nerves down. Because this is what I'm here for.
Okay, then you may roll an information move. Flat roll plus your composure.
10.
10. That's just a flat clue. The beast truly has some phenomenal clue options. And
Yeah, it does.
mm-hmm. And since you're specifically like scouting the area to see if you can, if there's anyone else here, let's see. There's some good options. I'm truly torn between two of these.
Flip a coin.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we can call it even or odds.
I'm going to say that you hear it from inside the building, but you don't see a source. But it echoes through the old stone, whistling through the cracks like a cold wind. The untraceable sound of beautiful singing, like almost like the harmonious what is that instrument that's just like a rotating glass cylinder? It's just like that kind of like it's like when you it makes that sound when you run your finger on a crystal glass. That just kind
I know
of
what you're talking
exactly
about.
It's that slightly just ethereal, beautiful singing that echoes untraceably from somewhere within the building.
Glass harmonica.
A glass harmonica. It's like a human sounding glass harmonica, just this kind of high pitched, beautiful singing that lulls out from the building somewhere deep within its empty halls.
Okay.
What do you do?
Is there a window I can climb through?
Most likely. And we're going to cut away from that for now. Let us jump, I think, back over to Ross. Because this is very interesting what situation you find yourself in. We're back at Jenny Johnson's opium den, where you are standing in front of the man in the sun mask, who has just displaced the sailor who was gripping you, and as his form shifted, he released you, and you fell back onto your butt, and he just greeted you personably.
Where'd you come from?
I came from.
All right. I really don't have the time for riddles and games and parlor tricks, all right?
No riddles, Mr. Fontenot. Never riddles. I thought you would be appreciative.
What happened to that sailor?
Nothing of consequence.
All right, I've been around nothing of consequence a time or two myself to know not to ask any more questions about that.
If I knew, Mr. Fontenot,
Then
I
you would
might,
tell me.
or I might not.
So, what brings you to this? That's a dumb question.
Aside from assisting you from drawing the ire of a band of sailors dedicated to the worship of a spirit from the beyond, well, I do love my recreational indulgences.
That you do. that you do. Much obliged.
Of course. It is my pleasure. Things...
Tell me.
Oh, yes.
I have a question, and feel free to answer me or don't, but seeing as how I don't have much time, I can feel it cusping on me. It's coming around the bend. Can I ask you something?
Of course, Mr. Fontenot.
Typically, when I come across things that are more than they seem, I feel an inherent drive to extinguish them, to remove them from the face of this planet. And I'm starting to gather where that comes from. There's one other that has found a way to outlast that. But with you, I don't get that urge at all. Though you wear a sun mask, are you something of the dark?
What an interesting question, Mr. Fontenot. Am I something of the dark?
Kind of looks at himself, gestures to the sun mask and nods. And he says,
Perhaps this is a matter of perspective. Light and dark in my line of work are simply coexistent facts of this present reality. Other worlds are dark, other worlds are light, many are both, some are neither. He kind of gives like a little like light shrug, and he says, I am as I have presented myself. I am a member of the royal family who wishes to remain anonymous and indulge in his vices without consequence. Now, whether that makes me part of the dark dives terribly close into the land of monarchy politics, and that is something neither you or I have the patience to indulge in.
Fine.
But if it is any consolation or answer at all, I don't consider myself to be a creature of the dark from your perspective. There are far worse things out there than a traveler.
Indeed. And though I don't feel that way, it might be more important for my employer to feel that way, which, seeing how I don't feel the distinct urge to rip your head off and shit down your throat all the time, I'm assuming that's not the case.
Then I consider us on even ground.
Much obliged again for your assistance.
You are very welcome. I know you are vexed by the coming change, or rather, your continued efforts to stave it off. Mr. Fontenot, we both know it is inevitable. Either you die before, or you change and see what happens after. There is, of course, a third option, should you not wish to walk down either path. But you will swiftly find yourself removed from your present line of work.
At first I was going to tell you that you're full of shit, but after everything I've seen, I'd be a dandy to not let you say your piece.
he leans forward towards you so his mask is level with your face, and he says,
Remove my mask, and you shall cease to walk the path of suffering. but only if you wish to vanish from your current predicament.
Do I have time to think on it?
Some people have nothing but time. You are not one of those people, Mr. Fontenot, but I will give you a moment of discussion with yourself, and a moment can last an awfully long time. You simply let me know your decision when you've made it, and I'll be there right on time.
All right.
A pleasant rest of your morning, Ross.
And the man in the sun mask nods, stands up, and leaves through the opium haze.
What the fuck?
So, following
I was wondering if you were going
Yes.
to bring that up.
Yep. I was like, yes, this is a thing that exists in the character rules, so.
Dear God.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. So,
Oh my god.
I didn't trust this motherfucker from the minute I met him.
he's been great. All right, so after the vulnerable move, Big B, Carla, is there anything either of you would like to be doing for the rest of your day phase?
Okay, let's see. I have something I want to try, but I'm gonna let Bigby go first.
Okay, yeah, Big B, is there anything else you want to do today? Well, other than just quickly detailing to us what the answer to your prompt there.
Answer the prompt. I think I was trying to think on it. So it's for a theater troupe and the group is being threatened by someone. I'm trying to think about what exactly
Yes,
Sally
this group of
No-Face
people
can
you
give.
watch from afar in the hopes that they will somehow accept you. Yeah, this theater troupe who are being threatened by somebody as their current problem. Yeah, what do you describe how something from the recently resolved threat can be used to help the group with their problem? That's a fun question.
Okay, here's a weird one, and I just want to run this by you.
Sure.
How would you feel about protection from the victims' families? Because we have not only
very cool.
exposed the killer, but brought them to justice. I don't know if that could be something where it's like, like they help us because we help them, like a community sort of thing.
I actually love that. Yeah, that's cool. So like the families of the victims of Sally No Face, through some like kind of behind the scenes like manipulation, you've gotten them to kind of form up and help. Okay, that's super interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so are we assuming then that this theater is in Whitechapel, since that's where the Sally No Face murders took place? It's kind of this like run down on their luck theater troupe that are now being helped by the community of the victims. That's really cool. Oh, they have a fucking like potluck, they make food for each other. It's great.
Yeah, I imagine it's very much like a whole community, especially after like a series of murders with like people affected and stuff. Like they're all very much together.
I love that. That's great. So is there anything else you wish to do today?
I was thinking about it. He can't really go outside very much. So when it comes to like investigation,
you want to just save some things for the night phase?
Yeah, Shelby, are you wanting to deal with the beast tonight?
We'll see what happens.
Depends on how my encounter here goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then
there is one thing I'd like to do. I'd like to talk to Pavel before I make the decision to go after the beast tonight. So it'll depend. And I won't be doing that alone by any means. I will be getting the rest of the party.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because then I think in that case I'm gonna hold off for now. So
great. Carla.
So we can possibly answer a question, and he will be inside he'll be inside Hargrave House for all of this.
Just because we're nearing the end of this little endeavor, and this could be fun. I want to use that custom move I picked up from the Watley camera.
Oh, Voidwalker. You would like to use Voidwalker.
I would like to use Voidwalker.
Of course.
All right. Okay.
Voidwalker. So far, only Carla has this because she's the only one who went to the Fragrant Void. When you have the Cosmic Passage marked and use an object of power to attune to the Fragrant Void, roll with sensitivity. On a hit, you travel to the Fragrant Void and gain keen insight into a threat of your choice. The Keeper reveals 2 clues. On a 10+, no entity from the Void will disturb you. On a miss, unmark the Cosmic Passage and then cross it off your sheet. That's very, very cool. And as a reminder, since we didn't call it out verbally, you already cleared your conditions from Bigby. You didn't clear a condition from the vulnerable moves. You got to clear. Did you? I think you
I did clear a move.
Okay, cool.
All of his moves were full, or not moves.
Conditions. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Carla, roll with sensitivity.
All right. I think I'm going to, just to be on the safe side, I think I'm going to roll this very appropriately
With
using
the
a
Watley camera for advantage. Mark off the Watley camera.
Might as well. No reason not to.
She's taking some like nude selfies with the Watley camera.
It's Carla, of course she is.
Yeah, of course.
Why wouldn't she?
Absolutely incredible.
And I've got a dice roller tonight, guys, because I just moved across the country.
That's fine. That's fine.
So, if I did my math correctly, that is a 5 plus a 3 plus a 2. So I believe that's a 10.
That's a 10. In which case, that's super fun.
I get some fun stuff.
You get 2 clues and no entity from the void will disturb you. Which threat would you like to pick?
Let's knock out the Drowned Guardian.
Okay.
I feel like it's appropriate if I'm going to the plane of existence to look into a spirit.
That is extremely fitting. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Let me look at my list of clues for the Drowned Guardian.
Yes, because for the audience, these are official clues that I am getting. They're not clues that I make up.
They are clues that I choose from my list of clues from the Fragrant Void. This is very cool.
So while Xander's looking at that, Carla just in a similar mirror to her and Ross at the Society Obscura, just a quick flash of mercury bulb, a little bit of cinnabar to light the way. But this time, it's not the convergence of the planes that's bringing her there. It is that little connection that she has, innate, deep, dark within her from when the void touched her and when she touched very violently back. And just for the briefest of moments, she's pulled into the void.
Very cool. Now, we've established so far, just before I answer these, so that the current questions on the table for the Drowned Guardian are, how can you appease the Guardian, which lets you resolve the threat by doing a ritual to appease the Guardian. The other one, how can lasting order be maintained, lets you form an alliance with the Guardian and you get a custom move. So that is, that's on the table. I'm going to say the 2 clues you get within the Fragrant Void. And gain keen insight into a threat. There's so many good options here. But so in the Fragrant Void, you see a tableau of floating candles set adrift under the stars and old ships out in the water, a kind of shadowy mockery of ships out in the Thames where strange glowing lights swim under the ships, forming patterns. That's the first clue. The second clue, there's so many good options here. I'll do this one. you see, I'm going a little Stranger Things season 4 here. You see like a grandfather clock floating through the void. This is not the clue. I'll tell you what the clue is in a second. As it chimes the stroke of midnight, and through the haze of the void, you see a tableau of the abandoned Church of the Steadfast Anchor down at the London docks, where bells and singing echoes out into the misty void at the stroke of midnight from this otherworldly clock. That is the clue. There you go.
And she once again breathes in the void, this time a little calmer, a little less under the pressures of trying to find an innocent or trying to fight something very large and grand. And she lets out the breath. And she is back at Hargrave House.
Okay. All right.
Fascinating.
Pyrrha, you snuck into the Uncelium, as we're calling it, which is such a wonderful name. Inside it is dark, but, cracks of cold, wintry sunlight, make their way through. If you've ever seen anyone playing or watching Crimson Peak, how the kind of the roof of that main central area is collapsed. There's that snow that's kind of trickling down. That's absolutely the vibe here. There's a banister, an upper level, a broken roof where snow just kind of swirls.
There's gonna be a dead lady in the water system too.
Probably. So you're inside. What would you like to do? We'll have this be your second action for the day phase, and we'll move on to the night phase, I feel like.
Well, she's going to continue looking, because I think she's going to try and find the exact source of that music.
Okay. I'm going to say give me a... I'm going to have this be a night move, because it's the Beast Slayer.
Yeah, that's valid.
Because you're going to be trying to track down the source of that singing. What are you afraid of happening here, Pyrrha?
I'm afraid of the faces. I'm going to see if I find it.
It's worse than that. Because Aiden's here.
Of course he is. Cool.
Do you accept the consequences of your potential failure? Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay. I think that this is going to roll with reason. And because you're bloodthirsty, I'm going to have this also cloud your judgment. So this will be at disadvantage.
I'm going to let this one go and just see how the disadvantage roll works.
3d6, take the two lowest.
That sounds more fun.
Plus your reason.
That sounds more fun
Sounds
to
more
me.
fun, it does. Does sound more fun. Yeah.
Here's a reckless bitch. Let her be a reckless bitch. Oh.
What'd you roll?
There are 3 ones in my tray.
You're fucking kidding.
No, I'm not.
Oh no.
I don't know if I can show that there's one.
Oh no.
Wow.
I don't know how I did that.
Wow.
Okay.
Shit's about to hit the fan.
Bye, Pyrrha.
Nice knowing you guys.
Oh, goddamn.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be mean. And this is because I saw this is on the clue list, but feels extremely fitting for a missed result too. We're going to continue with the scene. And if at any point you decide, fuck this reality, we will go you can put on a mask and we will see what happens.
I think I know which one you're bringing up too. No.
Mm-hmm. So you will get a clue from this miss, but there will be something fun here. So you stalk through the halls of the Uncelium, and hearing the ethereal, slightly harmonious harmonica-like singing that comes from deep within, and you enter a kind of dark chamber that's like deep under, like in this, and the cellars, the storerooms, which are old and rotten and flooded with frigid water up to your ankles that you slosh through in your heavy boots. And the sound gets louder, and you can feel it just resonating against your eardrums, kind of vibrating through your bones and your body, this singing. And as you get closer to the source, you realize that the singing is the harmony of several voices interlacing all at once. And as you enter this like larger central part of the building, or underneath in the basement here, you see the beast, the masked. Not in its full form, but it is this kind of writhing, shifting cloud in the midst that is the source of the singing. Faces of familiar victims and unfamiliar victims appearing in this smoky, almost liquid-like cloud, singing, and they all begin to, as you step into the room, coalesce and take the shape of a man, of a single man, roughly slightly taller than yourself, with in a not like a very nice prim proper suit, but a sturdy jacket coat that goes long, this long dark wintry overcoat that descends all the way down to the floor and almost merges into like the dark water of the basement, just like a coat of void meeting an endless ocean, giving that appearance. And it is a pale-skinned man that you immediately recognize as Aiden Cinder. And his head looks over its shoulder, and you know that the look on his face is one of dual presence. It is both Aiden and the masked here at the same time. Two things acting in unison. The vessel and the master, truly. And when Aiden speaks, it is a voice that is predominantly his own, but underlying that is the echo of countless men, women, children, people from who knows how many eons, all the victims this thing has claimed, all the faces it has stolen, wearing one familiar face, one that is not the most familiar, but certainly its current vessel. And Aiden Cinder and the masked within say, "We are so happy that you came here at last, Pyrrha. It has been far too long. We have played this game for so long, your family and I. And now, the turning of the tide, we meet, where we sing in celebration of a new face we add to our being." And as the kind of form of Aiden Cinder steps to the side, you see floating there is Phineas.
I fucking knew it. I knew you were going to do this.
And
Oh no.
the clue specifically on the sheet reads, "A side character who has been intimate with the legacy turns up dead," as Aiden Cinder reaches out and puts his hand on Phineas's still pale face, and like a festival mask, just pulls it back, and Phineas's whole being, except for the face and Aiden's hand, turns into liquid smoke that joins into his black coat, and Aiden sets the mask onto his face and assumes the form of Phineas for a moment, and says, We have so much more to do. And he begins to step towards you. You are in grave danger, Pyrrha. What do you do?
Am I allowed to put a mask on?
You are allowed to put a mask on.
You are not killing Phineas. I would like to... No, not yet. I would like to mark the mask of the past, but I would like to narrate it later.
That's totally fine, because we're going to go on break. And we will find out what happens at the end of this day phase before what instead happens here momentarily. Okay, so stay tuned. We will be back in just a few moments. Welcome back, distinguished guests. Meg had to step out for the evening, so she'll be back next week. Everything's fine. She just is super tired. So Carla is preoccupied for this upcoming night phase, and wouldn't you be after walking through the void? But for now,
we stand caring about cast health.
We super stand cast health and well-being. Like, yeah. Mama didn't raise no asshole.
Mom didn't raise me at all. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I always say that.
You need a hug. You need to talk about this.
Oh, shark tooth.
What? No. What?
Wes just shamed his mother on Twitch.
I'm sorry, she don't watch Twitch.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So, the beast.
Yeah, it's about to kill me, right? Right.
Xander, are you okay?
No.
What happened? What happened? You all right?
Sudden shark.
Oh,
Shark tooth. Yeah, the newest member of Heart
this old thing.
So Pyrrha.
I lied.
Pyrrha, since you bumped up your result with a mask of the past, do you wish to go ahead and narrate that now or hold off?
I'm gonna hold off.
Okay.
I still have one last thing I want to kind of work out in my brain.
So that bumps it up to a success with a complication. There's a toll, a cost.
Fine, as long as that toll ain't Phineas.
It ain't Phineas. I'm
Good
gonna,
God.
so that means that it's still
Leave my
Aiden.
sweet Irish boy alone.
But here's what's gonna happen, and this might be a little bit more fucked up, but maybe not. Is that it is Aiden still. Everything that happened up to the point of Phineas still happens, where he says instead of saying celebrating a new face being added, what Aiden says, it's like Aiden and the Masked. They say, "It has been so long, Terra Rivia. So long, you follow our song. A song of celebration. A song of the final pieces coming together. Your arrival, your reunion with all those who came before you." And his appearance shifts into... I feel mean just saying it. He turns in this moment into Damir. And Damir says, "Pyrrha, it is time." His voice still undulating. And I will tell you this. The cost is you flee, but is that you will flee from this place in this moment. How do you feel right now?
Shaken.
You may take the condition shaken. And you flee from the Uncelium. You run away from your date with Destiny for now. And yeah, great. I think we should go into the Dusk Phase.
Excellent.
Unless there's anything else
what's
anyone
the,
wanted to do.
Yeah, I
did
wanted to
wanna-
ask. Oh no, go.
No, you go ahead, Jordan.
Right,
Say what you
go.
want to say first.
I was gonna ask, what's the what's the new hint that we got instead of dead NPC?
No clue. No clue. You didn't. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Instead, yeah, I made the call. I made the mist still give you a clue. On this complication, you don't get a clue. It's just that Pierre got her condition, so you actually lose a clue. So,
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's okay. I
got
got
you.
Phineas alive.
You got Phineas is still alive. Thankful for
Phineas
now
is still
until I
alive.
decide to use that clue again.
And I put it on another mask.
I think it's time to move on to the Dusk Phase. We feeling that? Unless there's anything else anyone wanted to do.
I wanted to talk to Pavel, but I might want to do that with the rest of the hunters.
Oh, okay.
Bigby's home. So he's staying at Hargrave House, maybe looking through. Yeah.
One final scene with
Probably
the hunters before we go
helping
to the
Ross,
Dusk Phase. Then
possibly.
we want to do one final. Yeah, we can do that. One final scene. I'm with that. Absolutely. All right. So everyone is reassembled at Hargrave House before the day is done. Pierre, you want to speak with your uncle?
Hera gathers the boys up, looking the most close to terrified you guys have ever seen her.
Are you okay?
Found it. I fucking found it.
Found what exactly?
Oh.
A thing that we've been trying to kill for generations. I fucking found it.
I'm actually going to add a detail here. And when you say this, all of you hear the definitive clack of a walking cane hit the topmost floor of the upper balcony of this entry hall of Hargrave House. And standing at the balcony is Pavel, out of his office, the current proprietor of Hargrave House. And at this exact moment when you say that, and he says, "So, the moment that I prepared you for, Pyrrha, the moment your entire life has been building up to, is now at hand. I heard it too. The singing. There has been only one place I have heard that singing before, and that was the day I made my greatest mistake. The day I woke it up. And now it sings to all of London. It cares not for them. It wants us first."
What did you do to wake it up?
Camp takes a sharp inhale. This is
Whatever
actually,
you did cost me my father and my brother, and might cost me my life. I deserve to know if I'm about to go kill it.
I want to ask. Actually, you know what? This is a great chance to use a information move plus your presence to see if you can get him to reveal things that he doesn't think are pertinent to putting it down. So let's see if we can. I might as well, instead of me just answering this with something random, let's give it a clue here. Go ahead and roll. You definitely have disadvantage.
Can I have an item I'd like to check off.
What item?
Demir's necklace that I'm wearing.
Oh.
When she says, "You cost me a brother and a father." As she says that, just the gleam of the old coin on the old leather cord catches under her shirt.
That is... All right, roll. It's a flat roll, so 2d6 plus your presence, Pyrrha. Which is a 0, so we'll see what happens.
The 4.
A 4? Okay. Pavel will wave his hand and say, "The particulars of what happened to wake it up have no bearing on ending its pox upon us. Trust me, I have studied this for years. I lost a brother and a nephew too. I know what matters for it and what does not. And what I did back then has no bearing
on our destiny henceforth.
And yet you can't bring yourself to walk down those stairs, out that door, and face it yourself. You just see Ross just sweating profusely.
Right. As much as you've lost people, your own blood, you don't seem very broken up about it. Almost like a mess that someone else has to clean.
Pain and loss wears many different faces. You should know this, creature.
It's Bigby, thank you. Vera, whatever you feel is the right decision, I will follow you. You don't have to clean his mess.
I have lived my life pursuing this goal, and you accuse me that I will not walk down to face my destiny alongside that of what remains of my great family. I will walk down these stairs. I will face it, even if it means my end. That is my sworn path, and it is here. It is not my place to run from this fight. So that is where you are wrong. I will be there. Even if she will not be, I will. You already spoiled the offer of outside help that was placed at our doorstep. But we do not need the Brathwaids. I do not need them. I will do what I must. With or without my own kin.
Who the fuck said I wasn't going?
Then I expect us to go together.
Ross pulls the revolver, the Colt revolver out, pops it open, the cylinder, checks to make sure, twirls it, brings it back closed, twirls the gun, slides it back in the holster and says, "Good. That's what I wanted to see."
We're going tonight. I'm winning my fucking freedom from this house.
And I would suggest you all prepare accordingly.
And he turns and disappears into the house.
Sounded like the night he is until he starts banging that stick around.
Here, just...
Would anyone like anything before we leave?
I just need to go check my weapons. Give me a moment.
Ross is just gonna pat Bigby on the shoulder and then turn and walk to his room.
I think Pyrrha, before she completely leaves the room, she's gonna look back at both of you. Thanks for that.
Of course. There's a dark pox of evil on the city, and we're the only ones that's going to take care of it. Wouldn't be
I
right to
didn't
sit
mean-
down.
Now I will
That's
add.
not what I meant.
I will add. Keep this in mind. If you want to go after the beast tonight, you do have to answer the question. Because if you try to answer a question during the night phase, I have every right as the keeper to interrupt that from happening and causing other situations to result. So would you like to answer that question right now?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Before we go anywhere? Very well. All right, we have 2 clues for the beast. This might be a short beast threat. We'll find out what happens. And I take it you're going after the only one you can, which is what makes the beast most vulnerable. Now, Pavel has a vial of the beast's essence, and the other clue is the ethereal, beautiful singing from a human-like glass harmonica. Let's hear that theory for what makes the beast most vulnerable.
So it's a form of moths, right?
Here's what I'm saying, because Shelby it's a face stealer, but the hitherto unknown power it has had is possession. I am taking the inspiration that it is possessing swarms of moths and butterflies, which it uses now to as well. So in addition to its
Pulling
host,
like weird wall rider shit from Outlast.
weird wall rider shit. Yeah. So it's like
So,
it
I
has
have
possession
something
powers.
to propose.
I'm listening.
So we have a vial of the beast's essence, and we also have like the knowledge that it's very much like sings. What if it's something that kind of has to do with like frequencies, similar to kind of like how like venom works, you know, where it's like certain frequencies like really fuck with it and weaken it, and like to a point where we can kill it with like mortal ways.
I'm on board with that because this is not a clue, but I did make a point in one of the flashbacks that when she first came across the beast and it walked past her and did that creepy like soon thing, she heard like weird buzzing and static all around her. So that could be interesting.
Sound makes okay. Go ahead.
So combining that, sound makes it vulnerable and things of that nature. What if there is something that is tethering all of that energy and that coalescence around it? Like there is an object, like an amulet or something, like a glass harmonica.
Yeah.
But it's like not a glass harmonica. It's something that is like frequency disperses whatever it is made of enough to make it like a weak point.
This is the second time I'm gonna pull from the book of Stranger Things tonight because we mentioned this on the break, but also this is like not really a spoiler it for the new season because it happened in a previous season. It's like the Mind Flayer shadow particles, how they like swirl. I think what if that's the essence in the vial? It's just this kind of like that swirling liquid smoke like stuff. That is a part of its essence. That is what it is, and it reacts notably to frequencies.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Any other thoughts on this? So so wait, so let's lean on this one more time. So like you said so there might be like some kind of amulet or something that is like a glass harmonica, like a talisman or something that's
like in the center of its actual form.
What if it's like a small, another like kind of small woodwind, like a hand carved like tiny flute or something that it's stuck to, so it would fit into that realm of high pitched, delicate sound and frequency.
I like this.
Kind of like a tuning fork almost, like, but in a way.
I'm thinking of like a crystal tuning fork that is at the center of its mass. Or so like an ancient like tuning fork kind of thing, you know.
Oh, if we're on the subject of glass harmonica, like, do you guys know what a Rupert's drop is?
What is a Rupert's drop?
So it's a way that that glass is like very specifically made where it looks like a teardrop, but the like the bulbous side of it is like super fucking hard, incredibly hard to break, while the tail end of it is incredibly brittle. Snapping the tail end shatters the entire thing.
And inside that thing is the swirling essence of its very being that
almost like the heart, like
it's like the heart of the beast.
So like if you hit the right frequency, you can crack the glass, maybe.
Like crack the tail end and shatter
either the right frequency, or you just fucking crack off the top and the whole thing breaks, you know?
Yeah, you just have to hit the frequency maybe to get it to open up.
Not even just the frequency. It's just if you smack the thing with a fucking sword at the right angle, like that thing shatters. But like, yeah, so there's a whole myriad of things
if only
there.
we had somebody who could use twin swords.
Someone who uses swords. Yeah. Okay, I think that sounds right. I'm into that theory. I think only Shelby should roll this. So it's going to be just a flat 2d6 to see if your theory is correct.
It's yours.
And remember, if it's not correct, if your dice luck persists, something's gonna happen.
Can Bigby's rule apply to this? Oh wait, no, it can't. Because
a 9.
A 9. So on a 9, with the answer question, I will add an unwelcome complication to the answer, and/or pursuing the opportunity will be more dangerous. I truly think pursuing the opportunity being more dangerous to fight and destroy the beast is the right way to go here. It is going to be a lot more dangerous this evening to fight the beast.
That's why I'm bringing the squad.
Oh god, I just had the most terrifying idea. like, what if it's started to multiply?
We'll see what happens.
And there's like,
We'll see what happens.
I don't even want to think about that because this thing's been chasing my family for a long ass time.
that's scary.
I don't need a second one. This thing's taken many Rivias.
That's scary.
Okay. Let's move into the dusk phase.
I guess during the dusk phase here,
Yeah.
Ross is gonna go to his room.
Uh-huh.
And he's just going to, while he's getting ready, he's going to look in that cracked mirror that he has, and he's just going to say, "Let me fight tonight, sunshine. And then, with the morning sun, I'm yours."
We'll see what happens. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's that just twisted a dagger in my gut to hear that. We got to resolve playbook moves first, so I'm gonna actually do Ross last.
Right.
So first up, actually only up here, I need you to roll the cosmic passage. So roll plus your presence. You absolutely have disadvantage on this because of all the conditions you have.
Well,
And remember, if you
7.
Okay, you take the condition bloodthirsty, which you already have.
Does that mean I keep the condition?
I believe that's a condition you already have. So do I be mean and make you mark a mask? Do I be mean and make
I
you
hope
mark?
not, because
Technically, the rules are that when you would take a fourth
yeah, but
condition,
I never stopped being bloodthirsty in the first place. It's just persisting, right?
this is such a hard judgment call to make.
If she has to take a mask, Bigby is present.
He is. He can use the burning aperture.
Is.
There is also
Well,
You do have to take
hold
a
on.
mask
in play, right?
It is so long as you're present in the scene.
Yeah.
So I don't think that is
there
an
are
obvious.
I will
masks.
say,
Like a scene.
there are a couple of threat masks, and also your mask of the past is very apropos for this. Just saying.
Yeah, I just haven't narrated my last mask of the past
that's
You
yet.
can always
That's
stack
true.
masks, but like, well, the thing about masks of the threat masks that they can only be, I believe, used when you're investigating that threat.
Okay. Well, if you want to make me
Does-
mark a mask, I'll mark a mask, but
Does the beast have a mask?
Nope,
No mask.
no mask.
No dice.
I am the mask.
This is so hard. This is a hard judgment call. You know what? The rules do say that to really go hard on you guys, and this is near the end, so
I love Lady Rake says you could not be mean.
I'm sorry, I simply must. Here's what I'm gonna say to make. I'm not gonna give you bloodthirsty twice, but the rule, the wording is you take this condition that is a fourth condition on top of the rules, so you will have to. You are forced to mark a mask. I will let you choose. You can either replace. Actually, you keep your current bloodthirsty one. I'm gonna say you're gonna remove shaken with murderous.
Oh, okay. Oh,
If I mark a mask, I can do that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Sure.
I mean, that's well, no. It's like that's what's going to happen regardless. You have to mark the mask, and you will replace one of
sure.
those conditions with instead of bloodthirsty, you'll have to be called murderous. Actually, no, better phrasing, murderous sadism, because that is advanced bloodthirst. You know, them's the rule. So you got to mark two masks.
God knows I'm about to fuck something up here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll get to those mask prompts in a bit. Ross.
Hey.
You need to choose composure or sensitivity. You're not drained anymore, so you don't have to roll disadvantage. So sensitivity.
Yeah, because of Mutatio Dei, which means if I roll with sensitivity, then I get advantage when dealing with threats that are supernatural, malevolent in nature.
Oh.
Oh, good shit. Oh, fuck.
So that says when you have the custom mark and during the quickening roll, if you're using. Okay.
I'm scared. This is
so
tense.
So this is you take advantage for the quickening roll or for when you're dealing with
When I'm dealing with a dark entity.
So this is just going to be a flat roll then. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's going to be a flat roll with sensitivity.
Unless you want to use any of your items.
Okay. You know what?
I'm nervous. Like, I'm actually
I'm very nervous.
You're fucking telling me.
I'm going to utilize Clara's book of collected pressed flowers.
Oh.
He's just gonna look over them one last time as a way, like, he's not even gonna look at the opium. He's just gonna, like, be focusing on that.
Okay.
As he's, like, just preparing. And the thing is, he's just sitting there and he's just like, he's playing Russian roulette while doing it.
Yeah, see it.
And he's sitting there and then just clicking.
All right.
And then clicking.
Make your quickening roll with advantage, with sensitivity.
Oh, advantage. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
using
you're checking off the item, right?
Yeah, I'm using one of my solar flare d6s. I think that's very appropriate. I'm using my Cthulhu d6,
Good.
and then I've got a pure black d6. So.
Amazing.
Come on, Eldritch Horror.
This is really scary. Like,
What did you roll?
A 4, and a 5. So with 5 plus 4, that
9.
equals 9.
Plus 3 is 12.
Plus 3 is 12. Quickening. On a 10 plus, your body is stronger and faster, and you manage to keep the quickening in check. You roll with advantage when taking actions that use vitality into the next dawn phase.
And with the 12 plus on your quickening, read the 12 plus result. You've never gotten 12 plus on anything on this before.
Your heightened sense of hearing and smell will help you uncover an additional clue that no other hunters would be able to detect. During the dawn phase, tell the keeper what the clue is. It cannot conclusively answer a question.
Good to know.
And I think on that, as he's looking at the flowers and he gets to the last chamber, he squeezes it and there's a click. And he looks, and the bullet that was in there has been gone somehow. Disappeared.
Fantastical. Let's give a paint the scene question for Hargrave House. We only have a couple of these left.
man. Oh man.
You know what?
Oh.
I'm so sad that Meg had to bow out for this one, but this one feels the most appropriate. The ballroom of Hargrave House. Hargrave House once hosted a ball for a group of visitors from the Fey realm. Even today, there are subtle reminders of that night in this room. What are they?
In the top corner of the ballroom, hanging from one of the sconces, because there's like tall sconces and you have lower sconces to help light a grand room like this, there's a donkey mask. But every time anybody tries to get a ladder to remove it, it goes to a different area in the ballroom.
Is that a Midsummer Night's
Yes,
Dream
it is.
reference?
That is absolutely a Midsummer Night's Dream
Nice.
reference.
Nice.
Real good when one of the masterminds is all right. Cool.
It's not what's in the room, it's what you can sometimes hear. If you sit in the center, you can almost hear the faint plucking of delicate strings that you can't make out, like echoes of a distant party.
There is a painting of a satyr that sits in the back. It'll shout profanities at you if you get too close.
That's real
Look
funny.
here, you fucking arse!
You get the impression that
The Witcher saying.
yeah, you absolutely get the impression that this satyr is trapped in the painting forever.
That's funny.
Here has had arguments with the satyr before.
That's fantastic. I
Now.
love that. Man. That's especially great considering that the Unquiet playbook has there are a number of haunted paintings in Hargrave House that you can interact with. That's fucking. I'm gonna if anyone plays
Hargrave
the
House
Unquiet.
is fucking Hogwarts. Good
Yeah,
God.
Yeah.
I'm planning on the Unquiet for season 2, so that's.
Yeah, we'll
That's
see where
fun.
that
I
goes,
like
man.
that.
All right, moving on. All right, we're gonna go down the line here and see what everybody wants to do during the night phase. I feel like the answers are all gonna be the same, but that's okay. Ross, what do you want to do during the upcoming night phase in brief?
I'm gonna go support the homie Pyrrha.
Support the homie Pyrrha.
I'm gonna be running interference, and also if I have to, if it comes to the point where she gets knocked out, I'm going to pull the shot.
Okay. Big B.
Yeah, Big B's also gonna help. He doesn't like using his strength at all. He feels very scared. He has broken many things inside the house just with ease. It frightens him, but he is stealing his resolve so that he can help his friend.
And Pyrrha?
Fucking kill the beast tonight.
The beast.
Kill the beast!
God damn it.
I got it
and
in.
you done it. There
I
you
got
go.
it in. I wanted to
You
do
got
it.
it in. You're one and done.
You got it.
The beast.
The beast.
All right.
Yep. All right. Fantastic. I love that. Great. No one wants to revise that? No?
Oh no, we're doing.
Actually, I want to go spend the night with Phineas.
This,
No,
we're going
I want to.
That'll go well. He
Yeah,
says,
no,
preparing
we're
to
gonna
throw.
kill you.
Thought you could run, but I am
But I
here.
am always here, Pyrrha.
Oh, that would be awkward. That'd be real fucking awkward.
So, before I
I'm here
introduce the
for
unseen,
that.
Shelby, do you want to take this opportunity to do your two mask prompts?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Would you like to read the first Mask of the Past prompt you are narrating, and then do it?
Narrate a series of 3 quick flashbacks where the beast shows up on the hunts throughout your life and puts you in danger.
These are extremely fitting flashbacks. I'm all here for this.
And I want to put just a teeny bit of flavor before we dive into these.
Please.
Pyrrha is sitting in Demir's room. And she's running a whetstone along the blade, just that rhythmic just bouncing off the walls. And as she does, she looks at her reflection in the blade, and the scene fades to Pyrrha, about 15 years old, with another one of her relatives, a much older gentleman, gray hair, pulled back. It's kind of wavy, it's messy. He's quite clearly old, 50s to 60s. Worn face, scarred. Same colored eyes as her, though. And it cuts to blood and screams, and Pyrrha alone in a puddle of red. Then you cut again to Pyrrha and a hunter not of her family. And again, it's that buzzing that surrounds them. Pyrrha is shunted away, and her partner in this hunt has been pulled back into this mass and is torn asunder. And his face added before the mass disappears. And the final one was the worst one of all, where she was held back by Aiden because she was too injured to try and help as her brother was ripped apart.
And the second mask prompt you would like to narrate.
Narrate a flashback when you first tried to kill the beast that showed how greatly unprepared you were. It was shortly after Demir died. Pyrrha hadn't slept. She's hardly eating. Throwing herself into the most rigorous exercise and sword fight training that she could. She was angry. She couldn't take it out on who she wanted to, though. She was furious with her uncle for sending him out the way she did. She knew. He knew Demir wasn't ready. And so Pyrrha went searching. And searching. And she found it. She found it in a desolate alley behind a slaughterhouse. It was ripping someone apart and taking it to their face. She tried to charge it, and she was thrown like a rag doll. She remembers the rhythmic footsteps. It sounded like an army marching through the alley, but there was just one being, but so many at the same time. And again, just that cold, dual-toned whisper of soon. And we fade back to Pyrrha sharpening her blades.
Alrighty. And we're back. I will introduce the unseen. The unseen will be Brown's Hotel. None of the 117 rooms at Brown's Hotel on Albemarle Street are the same, though they each have housed some of the most fashionable people you'll ever find in London or anywhere. A concierge, Teddy Miller, delights in spying on the hotel's posh clientele. I'm going to give this first one to Jordan. Can you read the first prompt, please, and narrate it?
Teddy puts his ear against the door of a wealthy young bachelor. What does he hear that makes him desperately want the life of this young bachelor? So he puts his ear against the door, and it's talking. With how small this room, appears to be, there's a lot of voices. It's almost like a party, if you will. There's talks of sabotage. There's talks of politics. There's talks of here and there, this or that. You do this, we'll give you this. And soon, sir, you will rise to the top. Maybe even be next to the queen. Is that what you would like? Well, yes, I think I would quite like that. Thank you. Well, then this is all you have to do. And there's a series of like papers and stuff being traded. There's a bit of silence, assuming that this bachelor is reading things over. My wife. Well, guess that's easy enough. And there's like handshaking, there's cheering. You hear like a pop of like a champagne bottle. And the only thing that Teddy can think about is an easy job to rise above my station. God, I would kill to be that guy right now.
Very good.
And maybe he'd have to.
Maybe. But that is irrelevant for now. Thank you. We go into the night phase.
Now I think it's time to pull this up.
How about y'all? I'm scared right now.
We find ourselves at the very exterior of the Unselium. 4 hunters shoulder to shoulder. Pyrrha Rivia, Ross Fontenot, Bigby, and the aging Pavel Rivia. Ross, how have you prepared for the evening?
Ross is dressed, for once he doesn't look sweaty, but you can tell that his eyes are crocodilian and alligator in nature, reptilian in nature. They are honed, they are precise, they are seeing, and there are bits of scales coming around his eyes. And you can see his hands have a tighter grip, but he is standing there. He has his best bolo tie on. He has his grappling leathers on, one would say, which is just his pants with black leather chaps and a black leather duster. And he has his bowler cap tilted down low, and he just brings up a bandana and puts it over his nose. He has come prepared with not only his trusty revolver by his side, the 1851 Colt Navy revolver, but he has the lasso of Pecos Bill tucked into its loop. He has Taggard's bolo tie on along with his own. And in the pockets of his duster, he has Roger's toy boat and Sally No Face's wooden mask. Because you never know. One of these things might come in handy.
How does Big B prepare for the night? What has he done? How does he feel?
So Bigby is not much of utility. He hasn't been here long enough to kind of know the ins and out of how this world works just yet, but he brought bells. That was the best thing that he could think of, was to bring bells and himself a first aid kit along his hip, with the hopes that, you know, no one gets hurt, but if somebody does, he's been reading a lot of books lately, so hopefully he can assist.
And how is Pyrrha prepared for the evening?
He gives her all of her weapons a proper detail. She takes the bird whistle and slips it into her pocket, along with the shard of the cursed mirror. And before all of us meet downstairs, she meets Bigby and Ross and gives you both each a very personal thank you for what you're about to do and a kiss on the cheek.
Do that,
And
Ross brings up a wad of cash and puts it in your hand.
What's this for?
Can't ride horses without paying a fee.
If I get there tonight, I'm pretty sure I'll be doing it together.
I'm sure of it.
You three. We must not waste time.
And Pavel heads into the Unselium. And we return to the Unseen. I'm going to give prompt number 2 of Brown's Hotel to Shelby. Can you read prompt number 2 and narrate it?
1 moment.
Yep.
Teddy rummages through the personal effects of an actress staying at the hotel while she's out. What does he find that makes him desire her or desire to be her? Teddy, after the actress leaving and him waiting to open her door with the master key, he finds a very loving and heartfelt note from someone special. And for a man who has been alone for as long as he has, left only to watch the lives of strangers and live vicariously through them, there is a pang of deep, deep envy to be loved the way that this letter expresses.
Fantastic. That's lovely. We return. Inside the Unselium, the four of you stand. It is not as calm here as it was the day prior, Pyrrha. It is active. Thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands, of gray, furry winter moths swarm and swirl like a vast, living hurricane, the eye of a storm, fluttering through the building. And moreover, you see hanging like jewels from a chandelier are even more clusters of amber glittering cocoons of the moths pupating. And some hatch and crack open, and a bit of that shadow stuff and ash falls out of it as these moths, all possessed by the masked, flutter and fly. You all stand there amidst this living storm as the voice echoes out.
We are so glad you are here. all four of you, but especially Pyrrha and Pavel. You can finally join with your family. All together, every Rivia unified within us. All of these voices echoes from within. And I think several things happen all at once. Living smoke coalesces into the bubbling, churning form of the masked. At its center is Aiden Cinder, the vessel, but rippling off from his face and his form is the smoke where other faces can be seen undulating and speaking, singing, screaming. You see Demir, you see your father, you see other family members, old friends, people you saw on the street once. You just see faces in its mass. It stands there, arms open, ready to move through you like tissue paper. At the same time, swarms of winter moths possessed by the masked assail you guys in a rain of insects that slam into your body, obscure your sight. Some try to crawl into your mouths, your nose, your ears, any open orifice. And the third thing is this singing, discordant. It ripples through the space. You feel it in your bones, aching against your teeth. This storm of the beast at its center, waiting and ready to lunge forward and end each of your lives, assume your identities, and then who knows what else. Hunters, what do you do? Ross
is going to go to a pouch at his belt, and he's going to bring out a couple of bottles. They are very stringent senses. They are animal senses. And what he is going to do is he's going to open all the caps really quickly, and he's going to start slinging them every which way. All these smells, and you smell saffron and sandalwood and jasmine and lavender. All these very astringent aphrodisiac type scents, and he's just going to bolt to the side, essentially just dashing all of those, hopefully using those to know that moths have very sensitive smellers to help throw them off.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Like any insect.
that's good to know. All right, before I prompt you with your night move for that, so Ross is running essentially distraction on the moths, which I will say metaphysically they are trying to possess your friends, Pyrrha. Like, so that they're also actually, I would say they're actually probably currently attempting to possess Pavel. There's another added detail there.
Give me a reason to kill my uncle,
So we'll
please.
see what happens with these rolls. But before I ask Pyrrha what she does, Bigby, what do you want to be doing as Ross is in action, trying to stave off these swarms of the possessed moths? What are you doing?
I actually wanted to mention that Bigby immediately moves to cover both Pyrrha and Pavel using his like enormous
very cool
frame to kind of like cover them. You feel kind of like his furry head like on both of your shoulders as he just tries to protect you.
You're gonna be protecting them.
Really just he's taken the brunt of it on his back. Like he's
okay, great. I love that.
He's so
he's
close
protecting
to
them.
a snoot
what
that
will-
I can't boop.
So you're gonna be protecting Pyrrha and Pavel, you said?
Yeah.
All right.
He's
and-
like physically guarding them.
Yeah, physically interceding yourself between them and the horde. Pyrrha, what do you want to do? What is your action? I assume it's to bum rush this thing with your swords out. Like, I just knowing your character.
Yes, but
Mhm.
I have one thing I want to do as I'm running.
Please.
Put the bird whistle in my mouth and blow into it as hard as I can to make the most high-pitched, ear-piercing screech that little piece of whalebone can.
Oh, fun. The whalebone whistle, the bird whistle thing.
I'm
That's-
assuming it's made of
also-
whalebone
alright.
because we're in, the Victorian
Yeah,
times.
why not? My or ivory, whatever it is. Yeah, it's great. Okay.
Also Bibby's
I'm gonna go down the line here. So
dog
Ross,
ears.
you get to make a night move plus sensitivity, because every time you interact with the supernatural, it's sensitivity. You have advantage because of Mutatio Dei. What are you afraid of happening should you fail or lose your nerve?
Ross is afraid that the moss won't take the bait.
It's worse than that. Because they will possess you and force your transformation.
Hot.
Bro, what the fuck?
Hot.
What the shit?
Very hot.
Well, they will, or let's say, yeah, they will attempt to possess you, and in doing so, you will transform.
I
will essentially force. That's the consequence. Like, yes, this happens.
Force the cursed.
Oh man.
Do you wish to continue with your course of action or stand down?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
All right, roll advantage on your night move plus your sensitivity, and then tell me the number, but we'll resolve the aftermath later. And that was with advantage?
That was with advantage.
Fantastic.
That is, once again, a 12, 5, 4, plus 3.
Ooh.
I rolled a 3, 4, 5 once again.
All right, 12 on that.
Oh, I love that.
Big B, this is going to be for you. Since you're not interlacing with the supernatural, I think, I'm going to have this be a night move plus composure. You're withstanding a brunt. Actually, let me see real quickly.
That not be vitality? Because he's using his body specifically to...
You know what? I will say vitality, because you are using endurance on this. Yeah, because you're not fighting the... Well, I think it might have to be sensitivity, because I think it's anytime you interact with anything supernatural, it has to be sensitivity. So I do think that it's still going to have to be the sensitivity.
Okay.
So yeah, unfortunately, you don't get the +2. You did try. Do you have any?
No worries, it's okay.
Do you have any items you might want to use, to give you advantage on your roll, to help protect and withstand?
I only have the 3 items. I can't argue that the Hargrave House medallion has any, metaphysical properties, can I?
You'd have to give me an argument. I don't think we've established it as one, but I mean, like, if we
like if it's like a spell of protection,
As long
as
as
it's
the
like a
medallion that's
presence
been passed.
of a true hunter.
Yeah,
I
mean,
would argue that Hargrave House has been under the control of the Rivias for a while, so that would kind of make sense.
I mean, like, Pavel, I would not be surprised if, like, the Rivias have, like, warded the place against the masked. So, I mean, the Medallion of Hargrave House could be a warding symbol against this very creature.
Yeah, I like to imagine that with the Rivias being in, Hargrave House for so long, it protects them.
That's super
so
cool.
Big B using it in doing so to protect a Rivia is.
That's very fitting. What
pulling out that
are you
magic.
afraid of happening here?
I'm afraid of those mouths fucking me up. Like that's
Yeah.
that's the one thing that Bibby's worried about, because now his back is turned. He's completely vulnerable right now.
It's worse than that, because they will fuck you up, but they will possess Pavel.
Oh man. Oh man. Damn.
And all right, so go ahead and roll. You took them. You marked the item. So that is. Here's the thing. You do have. Let's see. Do we think longing and a disappointment and a horror would get in the way of this? I think it would.
I would like to say.
A disappointment and a horror would not.
Hold on, yeah. I'll say that my reasoning for why disappointment and horror might interact with it is because in the scene prior, we did have Pavel refer to you as the creature. So clearly he doesn't like you, and you being a monster to a monster hunter, I think he might be like avoiding and making it harder for you to protect him when he keeps his distance from you.
Can I make an argument?
I'm open to the argument.
That Pura very specifically gave a very sincere thank you to both Big B and Ross for what they are about to do. And Pura is also a hunter. If that could offset that feeling for Big B at all, having someone who is normally as hard and unfeeling as Pura, who's very rude most of the time, to pull him aside and very personally tell him thank you.
I'd like to propose, if at all possible, that the longing feelings that he had originally came from him watching people and kind of like wanting to be, like that. As he holds Pyrrha and Pavel, these two are family. He longs for that family and he longs to be loved. And I think just for a moment, it throws him off of his game.
I like that. I really like that.
So I think that'll cancel out my item and just make it a
flat roll. So
flat roll.
2d6 plus 1 for your sensitivity.
You got this, boy.
You choose to accept the stakes. You're still going to pursue with this course of action?
Oh yeah.
All right. You know the stakes.
We gotta save the Rivias. Like it's time.
Yeah, Master of Puppet starts playing.
I have that playing right now. I turned off the forge and I was like, with all the moss flying around, I was like, let's fucking do it.
That's amazing. Oh god, I wish I could do that on stream. That'd be amazing.
Oh man,
different game.
Never with Metallica.
I rolled a 7. So
okay, so that is
a complication.
You will success, but there will be a complication or a cost.
I would like to don a mask for it though. So I just.
Oh well, I was gonna say.
Preface that I'll don a mask.
I was gonna say that your the complication, the cost was going to be a condition because that's still a success range. I will say that the assailant of moths, you get torn stitches from them, like trying to like rip open and burrow into your very seams of your body.
Oh yeah. Fuck!
So you will succeed, but you get the condition torn stitches. Do you want to put on a mask?
Yeah, we'll put on a mask.
Okay.
Poor puppy, no.
Okay.
I just
we're gonna save you.
that.
We're gonna get you out of here.
Great. So then we'll narrate the result after the next unseen, and then lastly, Pyrrha, you've laid it out. You're rushing the beast. You said. You get
blowing the whistle.
You are the only person who gets to use vitality when fighting the supernatural, and truly, what a moment to be using this. So you can go ahead and, first of all, as you charge the mask, the form of Aiden, seeing Demir, your father, others rippling in its form, you know its weakness. What are you afraid of happening here? Should you fail or lose your nerve?
Afraid of it possessing my friends.
It is
already
worse.
Possessed one of them.
It is worse than that. They will possess your friends. And Pavel.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck that guy. But it's worse than that. Because when it takes you and you join with the masked, all the people who are part of the masked are still within it, and you will see what you, as part of the whole, do not only to London, but to Phineas by your own hands. So don't fail, Pyrrha. You're blowing the whistle. Now... This is your first roll of the phase, so you already got this with advantage actually, because of the cosmic passage. So, do you still want to mark the whistle, or do you just want to use it in the scene? Because you already have it.
I think I'm going to say I'm using it in the scene just for fun.
Yeah, so you don't mark it. So then you tell me what aspect of the beast is helping you here. I mean, I assume it's the resonance, the music, because you're using the whistle then, and it's counteracting it.
It's not just that. Seeing all the faces. All of these faces. Ones that she knows, ones that she doesn't. All the representation of the failure of the Rivia bubbling up in her. And that shadowy mist that's been trailing her every time she's leaned into this aspect of the mask. Starts licking at her feet as she charges forward.
Now, your supernatural enhancement is what is removing your bloodthirst and murderous sadism from getting in the way, possibly, interfering with your accuracy here. So this is a flat 2d6 plus 3 rolls. Since you're fighting it, you are using your weapons. 2d6 plus 3. You know the stakes. And then roll it and tell me. And I'm going to say you roll it and you don't tell me what you rolled. And we will hear your roll last. So
I don't like that look. Oh, that's...
Let's jump back over to the unseen.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
I'm going to give this prompt to Wes. Prompt number 3. Would you mind reading it?
Teddy draws a hot bath for a pair of good-looking young men staying in the same room together. In what ways does Teddy help bring the erotic subtext of this scene to the forefront, making it text? Teddy, being the dutiful concierge that he is, and understanding that sometimes it is his duty to make sure that guests have the most pleasurable stay that they do at Brown's Hotel, even if they don't know what they need or want for it, takes initiative in his job. He goes about arranging the room, making it perfect, laying out towels, bathrobes, slippers for these two young gentlemen, drawing this bath, this bowl is the best way to describe it, in the center of this white porcelain room with marble sinks along the walls. It is a big bath, enough for both of these men to sit across from each other and not touch at all. Teddy draws the hot water and adding bit by bit cold water to it, enough to keep it warm and so that it is nice and steamy inside. And then from his side pouch of his utility belt, so to say, about his for his concierge job, containing his key rings, anything that he might need to help out the guests of the hotel, draws a series of 4 bottles, uncorks them, and dips in and pours in lightly different scents of sandalwood, saffron, lavender, and the most aphrodisiac of most, jasmine. Taking a step back and wafting it and taking a paddle and waving across the water. Takes a deep breath in, lets the scents curl into his nose, and smiles, understanding a job well done, and walks out of the bathroom seemingly from a door that was not there before, closing it behind him.
Interesting.
I like that tie-in with the spices. I really do.
Ross rolled a 12 plus on his fighting with the moths. So, as per the move, my friend, on the 12 plus, you do what you intend. Describe what the scene looks like. I will give you some extra benefit or advantage you receive. So go ahead. Describe what happens in your little corner of the fight.
Ross takes the sense and he just looks at the rest of them, not even seeing if they're paying attention because they're getting swarmed as well, and he goes, "Don't worry, I'll draw them off of you." And he starts slinging the sense around and realizing that they're not paying attention to the droplets at all, and so he just starts smashing them on the ground, and you can smell the aroma gathering in the room, and you see the moths starting to flutter. Some are being overloaded by the senses and falling to the ground, and just kind of their wings delicately furling and unfurling as he runs across the room, slides behind a rock, and he unclips his holster, pulls out his revolver, and turns and looks and sees as the moths are starting to flurry around the rest of them, and then notices, that's a strange plant he's never seen before. There's giant bulbs dangling from it as well. He takes aim and he fires and hits the bulb right at the stem that connects it to the plant, and it cracks on the ground, not realizing that it is durian fruit, one of the most potent and pungent fruits known to man. And you just see a swarm of moths though possessed, become overrun by their instinct. Food that doesn't fight back. And it starts to swarm and crawl on this fruit. And then he says, that was lucky. And then chambers the round that's missing in the cylinder, closes it, and gets ready to move around the room again.
Now,
changing positions.
Let me tell you what benefit or advantage you receive. This might be game breaking of me to do, but I don't care.
That was clever.
Fuck yeah.
Ross, you have just selflessly thrown yourself into a very dangerous situation for the sake of helping your fellow hunters, moving with determination, facing off against the creatures of the night. And you didn't do this as solely just like I'm just fighting evil. You did this as I'm distracting the swarm to help my friends. This is an inherently selfless act you are doing. Unmark the darkened threshold.
Oh my god.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Ross Fontenot lives to fight another day! Holy shit!
I just gave you another mask, baby.
Oh my god. Alright.
Okay. That's what happens over in your little corner of the world. Big B, your result was a 7, I believe, right?
That I bumped up to just a regular success. 10.
Okay, so regular success on a night move. That is, you do what you intend. Describe what it looks like. Describe the scene as you protect them leading up to Pyrrha's final charge.
So it's so short. It's like a blink and you'll miss it sort of situation. But for Big B, it felt like forever. These moths just rush in, they clamor. He feels like the pulling and poking at like his stitches that have mended over, kind of feeling like the digging that bugs do when, you know, they have a goal. He begins to panic, he begins to freak out, but he holds his resolve and he holds fast. The moths come and they go. Pyrrha splits and he, you know, just as quick begins to run back out there, like alongside Pavel and Pyrrha. Just super quick. But now he's very much like, very nervous.
Okay. Shelby, what did you roll?
Try not jostle them.
Is that 2 6s?
No fucking way! No fucking way!
That's by default a
Yes!
holy shit. That is by default
15.
15. Oh my god.
No fucking way!
Well,
beast is
I had to
fucked.
mute myself immediately because I started screaming.
This beast is
I was sitting here thinking you may have gotten low, and I'd be like, oh, I'm prepared to narrate some bad things happening. Oh my god.
I'm gonna fucking cry.
Oh man. Oh man.
Okay.
I broke Alex. I'm sorry.
I'm changing the music just because, like, just to reflect my mental state real quick. Just a lot of just drums, not drums, just like little thumps. Okay.
Just, you know, exactly
Which means
what
that
I'm hearing in my
that
head.
you will get to narrate the scene of you just killing the beast. I will also give you some extra benefit or advantage. I'm thinking about what that is, and I have some wild and crazy ideas. Okay. I'm just thinking, okay, I think I know what it is. Changing it back to the intent stuff. You start. Narrate what happens.
Big B gives me the cover. Cover I need just to get through the first wave of these moths as they fly by, hit, dive up to loop around again, and Pyrrha takes off. And those weird shadows, Big B you can see licking up her boots, trail after her like a comet tail, and she moves inhumanly fast. And there is this sharp sound that probably hurts your ears, and maybe Ross's too if he has enhanced hearing. It's high-pitched, and it causes Aiden to falter. And it starts at his fingertips, where it's almost as if the frequency is becoming unstable, like when you hold a magnet to a TV and it goes fuzzy. And this effect travels up his fingertips as Pyrrha gets closer, and the whistling gets louder, and it almost seems like it is multiplying, that there are multiple whistles. Much like how the beast's voice is just so many. And as this Aiden's form becomes undone in this static, and there's just a whirlwind of screams for it to stop, of screeches. It goes from human voices to just this otherworldly, high-pitched scream. And then you see it, this teardrop shape, holding a roiling mass of energy inside. Pyrrha runs through the beast's mist, grabs the shard in her hand, and with one swift move with her thumb, cracks the top. And everything... There is a massive explosion of force and screams and wind and moths.
And here's your extra advantage, your benefit. In the subwoofer breaking, bass that like explodes outward with this explosion of force, you see the beast, this eldritch creature that has stolen countless identities, dissipate. You see its living smoke crack like crystal itself and shatter into thousands of pieces that all float, individual identities, faces screaming with relief of their suffering ended, their faces once more belonging to them, spirits that can pass on now that this thing doesn't hold on to their very being. And they all scatter off into the fray, but one stays right in front of you. And you see Demir. And for a very brief moment, before he too dissipates into peace and rest, this fragment of Demir reaches out to you.
She'll reach back.
As your hands touch and he begins to fade, you just see the smile of your twin brother as he smiles, and he just says, "Good work. I love you." Dust in the wind. You may clear bloodthirsty and murderous sadism. The final closure with your brother, knowing that he is now at peace. And he doesn't blame you for anything, and he's just happy for you. The last remnant of your brother's earthly presence fades into the unknown, leaving you there alone, but victorious, and your friends at your back. I think it's fitting that I actually asked Shelby to do the last prompt on Brown's Hotel with that in mind. With that note, we're ending, Han. Would you please read the last prompt on Brown's Hotel and narrate it?
Yeah, just one moment. Let me pull it up. Come here. Oh, God. Teddy returns to his tiny, dingy flat in East London. What do we see in Teddy's apartment that shows how he tries to incorporate a bit of glamour into his dull life? It's very small. His flat is bare. There's tattered drapes on the windows. An old rickety cot with moth-eaten bedding. A few crates stacked up make a makeshift table. But there is a cracked mirror and a makeshift vanity with a very fine silver compact filled with powder that smells of roses. Next to a container of pomade, I guess, just to illustrate it's for hair powder.
In the aftermath of the battle at the Uncelium, back at near Hargrave House, or wherever, the final little denouement of our evening. Bigby, what is your capstone for this night?
That is a great question. I don't know what there is to gain from the beast now that it is vanquished. About gaining.
It's like where.
Though I would say,
no.
It's what you do.
What do you do? What happens afterwards? How do you end the night?
Oh, how do we end the night?
How do you end the night?
guess just tending to everybody, making sure that they're okay, being the support. Those who are injured, he will gently, very, very gently carry home. Might even try to strike up conversation and talk to them, just to keep them grounded and not so deep, in the whole of battle.
What?
Yeah, that's what he.
How does Ross end his night?
Sorry, I was thinking about answering the question for.
You're muted.
Your mic's muted.
Ross, once we get out of the butterfly atrium, steps out into the cold night and opens up his cigar case, the one that he carries, and there are 4 cigars there. And he puts them all into a tightly packed square, puts them in his mouth with a match, lights each and all 4 of them, and then hands one to each of the members of the hunt, and just inhales the smoke and lets it out between his nostrils. Looks at Bigby, says, "Good job, big guy."
And you as well. Very resourceful with the spices and fruit.
Looks at Pyrrha and just nods to her. And then...
I don't think I'll get the smell of sandalwood out of my suit anytime soon, but it was a good tactic.
He's gonna hand the cigar over to Bigby, and he's gonna punch Pavel 1 time in the face. And then take the cigar back from Bigby and just put it, and it's a big fucking like Winston Churchill cigar, and just smile.
He curses in Czech or whatever, and just like
and I'll pat him on the shoulder afterwards.
Oh, Ross Fontenot, the world is a lot better with you in it. Please, never change.
I would ask Pyrrha to tell me what she does, but she doesn't have the option to pick for herself because
I know what's happening.
As per the beast threat, I asked you to frame an intimate scene with a fellow hunter. I will let you choose between Bigby or Ross, in which you ponder if you can ever be truly free. from your namesake, and then it is the At Hunter can grant that freedom by affirming your growth as a character and comforting you. And if you do, you may describe how you retire from monster hunting and live a normal life and retire your character. If they do not believe you have changed, or regardless of their opinion, if you decide to stay in the business, continue play as normal. Who do you pick?
Wes, me and you both know it has to be Ross and Pyrrha.
It has to be Ross.
It has to be, out of all the interactions, it has to be Ross.
So, Shelby, frame an intimate scene where Pyrrha ponders if she'll ever be free. An intimate scene between Ross and Pyrrha. I'll let you frame it however you want.
Ross finds Pyrrha in the one place in Hargrave House that she always hated. The garden.
Bringing it back.
Because of its superficial beauty that hides all the pain that Hargrave House represents to her. She sits there, absently pulling the petals off of a flower, watching them slowly drift to the floor. And as you approach, she didn't even turn to look at you. She just says, "I never thought it would be over. I never thought I'd see the day it died."
Well, the difference between this time and the last times where you didn't have family alongside you. You just had others. You also were dedicated, but not obsessive. And you stuck to a plan. You put reliance in others to help you. And it worked.
Can I ever be normal? I always thought that would be as easy as the beast dies and I can just go, but I've spent an entire life fighting. I've never known a day that wasn't rigorously trained. Unlike other people, we know what's out there. Most people can just say these are fairy tales, these are lies, these are just stories used to scare children, but we know they're true. Can I go out into the world like that? Or is this going to follow me forever?
In my time, I've hurt a lot of people. Most of them deserved it. Some of them didn't. And there is a very distinct few that I'll never forget. I carry each and every single name and face with me wherever I go. Every single scar on my body is a reminder and a testament to them. What pushes me to do what I do is beyond my comprehension. But, as I learned yesterday, when you're in the depths of despair and you don't know what you can do and you think that there's only going to be one way out of this, something else shows up. And it offers you a way out. You've had a black dog dogging at your heels for so long, your entire life. Your whole family dedicated you to taking care of it. And you finally did it. And though you feel same or empty right now, it'll start falling off of you, one by one, slowly, like petals. He's gonna look at a rose. So it's gonna take time. It's gonna take effort. But luckily, you're young, and you got a whole life ahead of you. So, it's up to you to decide what to do with it.
What do you decide, Pierre? Oh, you weren't done. Sorry.
Oh, I think you're ready, though. Whatever you decide. It's your first big decision for yourself.
And what does Pira Rivia decide for herself?
She's holding just the hip of the rose now. She's just sitting twirling it in her fingers, watching the petals as they slowly drift down to the ground between her boots. It's going to take time. So maybe I should take it slow too. I don't think I'm ready to leave, not yet. But I am ready to be an adult and leave on my own when I wish.
Take care of Braithwaite, and let's see.
But I think tonight I'm going to go on my own for a bit. I'll be back in the morning. And while Pyrrha decides to stay with Hargrave House, she leaves that night for Phineas's bar. The first time she's been able to step outside without sneaking out.
And as you make your way out of Hargrave House, you are stopped by the voice. You hear, "Pyrrha." And standing at the front door of Hargrave House, your Uncle Pavel, looking for the first time in a very long time like just an old man. And he's holding a bottle. And he sees you leaving. And he just holds out the bottle to you, wordlessly.
What is it, like a whiskey bottle, or?
It seems to be something alcoholic. It's an old fucking bottle, though.
She picks it up and looks at the vintage.
It is like 1500s, you know, like this is like old.
Oh, so it's just absinthe at this point.
It's basically just absinthe at this point. It is like old, but what's remarkable about the vintage, it is currently marked as belonging to from the estates of Castle Rivia, which has not been a thing for quite some time. The lost lands of the Rivia family. This is a bottle that's clearly been in the family for a while, and he gives it to you, and you can take it to Phineas's bar and do with it as you please. And the night phase concludes.
She doesn't say anything to her uncle when she takes it, but there is a silent exchange between their looks. It's finally over.
And you go on with your evening. Before we come to a conclusion, I think we should pass through this dawn phase just to go over a couple of things. So this is one of those rewards that Meg is not missing out on. So let's just do that real quick, and then I think we'll call it an evening, because wow, what a session. Ooh, I can breathe. Let's collect them rewards for the beast, of which there is only one reward for the beast. If the beast was slain, which it was, Hira, name a body part or aspect of the creature to be displayed in the Hargrave House trophy room.
Oh shit! Yo!
The glass bottle that I
shattered glass bottle with a, can I add a little detail? It has a little dead.
Yes.
It had a little dead moth lying in it.
A moth wing.
Yep. That's so cool.
I like that.
Displayed in the trophy room for Hargrave House now. Fantastic. All right, let's do them frickin' dawn questions. Ross, did you answer a question? Yes. Did you resolve a threat? Yes, you did. Did you experience Attack on the Night? Yeah, you did. Did you use violence to solve a problem? Yeah, you did. Did you share a treasured memory from the stage during an intimate moment with another character?
I did not specifically about the States. I just told Pyrrha about all the people that I killed.
Yeah, so not specifically about the States, I think. So that's fine. You still take an advance. Your last advance, I think, actually. Yeah, you get to unmark everything in your personal quarters, which is going to be very useful in the sessions to come. All right. I will answer Carlos for her when she returns. I'll talk with Meg. Bigby, did you answer a question? Yeah.
Yes.
Did you resolve a threat? Yeah.
Yes.
Did you experience an echo in the night? Yes. Did you use brute strength to get your way? No, you did not.
Yeah, and I didn't know whether or not to argue him protecting the Rivias as like.
You know what?
That was
that was brute strength because you did withstand an assault. So I'd allow that. Yeah, you can take that. I'll be generous. And were you extra gentle with someone or something because you know how strong you are?
He was
I put a prompt out
carrying
there.
someone down.
Yeah, like helping someone, carrying someone down gently, ever so
did.
gently. But I don't know if anybody was injured enough for that.
I'll allow it. I'll take your advance.
The intention was there.
Take your advance.
What a good boy.
Let's speed run the between with fucking Bigby. I fucking love it.
Absolutely. Oh gosh, I think I'm gonna choose.
I think it's just speed running with Jordan, not just
Jordan loves speed running this.
Dude, I was speedrunning Doc for a while too.
Yeah, fucking 3 body parts a night.
Alrighty, Pyrrha, did you answer a question? Yeah, you did. Did you resolve a threat? Yes. Did you experience an echo in the night? Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Did you? I thought you did. Am I thinking wrong? Hold on.
With the
maybe not.
rose and everything at the fucking...
Yeah, didn't you say the rose?
Right.
Yeah, the
Shit,
rose.
I did that by accident, but I'll take it.
It counts as echo in the night.
Yep.
Which, by the way, did you know what the name of the song I was playing was? Because it's called "The Rose and the Thorn." So I mean,
no,
like,
I didn't.
that is, yeah.
Damn.
I like that.
And did you loudly curse your family? I don't think you loudly cursed the Rivias. I don't think you did. But that's fine
No,
because
I
you still
fucking
take
saved the Rivias today.
You still
damn it.
take an advance though. You get to mark all those. Yep.
It might. Oh, we're gonna increase an ability.
Hell yes,
do that.
increase an ability by 1. And we don't have any playbook moves to be resolved during this phase right now. It's over. So everybody, distinguished guests listening in. Yes, Jordan?
My Mask of the Past, which I'm happy to do that next week.
You're happy to do that next week? All right.
I'm happy to do that next week.
We'll do it next week.
Just so we can end at a proper time.
I think
as we
this is
are
a great. Yeah, I think this is fine. We'll end now. Fantastic. Well then, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying with us this long. We are in the final stretch of the between here. I'm not certain, but next episode might be our last before we have to move to pre-recorded sessions due to scheduling. So just keep an eye on our socials at Critical Failsafe at Crit Failsafe on Twitter. You can use our Discord link down below if you haven't joined yet. And I think this is a great time to sign off. Wow. What a wild ride that was. I look forward to seeing where this goes next week. But until we see you, same time, same place, sleep well and rest easy for the first time. The night is dark, but a little safer. Good night.